Welcome to this Physician Renewal Week session, which is entitled Enjoy Life, Knowing You're Covered with Unity Insurance. I am Marissa Valeri, the Physician Outreach Specialist with Montgomery County Medical Society. I appreciate you all for joining us today for this valuable educational program, and I encourage you to review all the other sessions prior to our evening program. All the sessions of Physician Renewal Week were designed with your well-being and that of your practice in mind. Registration for all the sessions remain open, so it's not too late to sign up. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our topic and speakers for our program. Insurance coverages can help support your peace of mind, whether for your business, your employees, or for yourself, your family, and your assets. Having these coverages in place should help you sleep better at night. This session will have fun insurance trivia, and all participants will receive a goodie package in the mail after the event. Please welcome Shelly Brouse, Ron Kendall, Tracy Hamilton, and John Jacobs from Unity Insurance.
All right, thank you. Everybody hear me okay? We're coming through. You can see the screen. Great.
Yes.
Fantastic. So thanks for joining us tonight and coming in a bit early before your general session tonight. It's really great to be here with everyone. It's been a crazy year. We've been just on lockdown for the most part. So we enjoy the opportunity to spend time with folks, and we do look forward to actually seeing all of you in person at some point in the very near future. As was mentioned, our goal tonight is really to share some information and just really help to relieve maybe some worry and stress that you all might have relative to protection, for yourself, your business, your family, your assets, and just, having that peace of mind so that you can have a good night's sleep. We're going to talk about a few specific areas that we think you should consider. The pandemic has created some new exposures for all of us to think about. And it's also brought to light some things that perhaps we put on the back burner or didn't really prioritize in our lives. And it might be time for us to think about some of those things and bring them forward and take care of them. So we're going to talk through some of that with you. And we are going to have some fun with insurance. I know that's probably an oxymoron in most of your, in your ideas about insurance, but we're going to have some random fact or fiction and insurance facts and have an interactive some interaction, and hopefully you'll jump in the chat and play some the game with us. So with that, I will just briefly, many of you may already know who we are, Unity Insurance. The name may sound new to you, but who we are is not. We rebranded from MedCai Insurance Agency last summer. It's the same team, the same level of service, the same expertise. We still, have our affiliation with MedCai, and we also have a wonderful relationship with the Montgomery County Medical Society. But the brand, really, the change in the brand was about supporting our growth strategy and really aligning sort of a fresh coat of paint on who we are and bringing us more current, more relevant, and supporting our growth and expansion into new products and new industry segments. That being said, healthcare will always be the core and foundation of who we are. So you heard our names. I don't have to redo the introductions, but this is our sales team. Many of you may know Ron Kendall. He's been with our organization for quite a while and does a great job working with commercial insurance. And most of you may know his experience with medical malpractice. Tracy joined the group. I guess you're in your third year, Trace, and works with our group benefits team. And John, by the way, is having his 1 year anniversary with our agency, his 1 year work anniversary today. So happy anniversary to John. And we're excited to have him on our team as he's brought some new products into our portfolio. And he's going to talk about that a little bit with you. And Shelly Brouse, I'm the CEO. So with that, I would like to, here we go. Our first fact or fiction. So let's open up your chat boxes here, and we are going to ask this question, or we're going to make a statement, and you let us know if you think it's fact or fiction. So an insurance company offered a cash reward to anyone who could capture Bigfoot. So what do you think? Is that fact or fiction?
Well, who
Where is Bigfoot located? Isn't he up in the Himalayas? It would have to be an Indian company, right?
Yeah.
Or an Asian company, I guess.
So do we have any
We have a
answers?
few, we have a couple answers coming in.
HBC.
Need a few more.
So what are we saying? Fact, fiction, 50-50?
We're seeing fact.
Okay.
A lot of believers in this.
Are we ready to
I
review?
think that's about it.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, it's fiction. Sorry, folks. It is a true statement, but it wasn't Bigfoot. It was the Loch Ness Monster. And Cutty Sark, actually, back in the early 70s, had a contest out to see if anyone could capture the Loch Ness Monster. But they actually bought an insurance policy through Lloyd's of London just in case the thing was found. And so Lloyd's agreed to cover it under the condition that they would get to keep Nessie if he or she was found. So that one was fiction. All right, I am going to turn it over to Ron Kendall, who's going to go over a few things relative to insurance protection for your business. So Ron, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Shelly, and thanks to everybody who's joined our sponsor session this evening. It's nice to see a few familiar faces on the boxes that are attending our session tonight. I just want to take a few minutes to discuss a few business insurance products offered at Unity Insurance. Some of these policies you may or may not have in your insurance portfolio, but I hope by sharing this information, you may consider obtaining these coverages so you have peace of mind knowing that your practice is thoroughly covered for these insurance exposures. The first topic would be workers' compensation. I just want to touch on a few new current things and just a few facts about the coverage. So remote employees with the pandemic and moving forward, a lot of practices will probably have employees working remote. Just want to let you know, most workers' compensation policies will cover these employees working remote as long as they can provide proof that a claim occurred while performing their job duties as designated by your practice. Also, out-of-state remote workers can also be covered under your workers' compensation policy, even if you're a Maryland practice with employees residing out of state. There's usually an additional charge, but there is coverage there, and you should always double check to see if they're covered. And one other thing about the workers' comp coverage is we're seeing a reduction in claims since there are fewer employees working in the offices. Payroll reporting, new options. So we're happy to announce at Unity that we're now partnering with our workers' compensation insurance companies to offer a pay-as-you-go workers' comp plan. This new format integrates with most payroll providers, including Paychex and ADP, and it eliminates the need for end-of-year audits, which a lot of practice managers aren't too happy about. So this is something new we're offering, and it should be a good thing. Historically low premiums. We are seeing some of the lowest workers' compensation rates in the 20 years I've been with the agency. So please let us know. We can review your policy to make sure you're getting that lowest rate. Next slide.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So the next topic I'd like to discuss under business insurance is employment practice liability insurance. So practices are faced with a lot of new exposures from COVID-19 to social issues like the Me Too movement, along with civil unrest that we're seeing in our country right now. So now more than ever, a practice should consider buying an EPLI policy if you don't already have one in place. Issues to consider during COVID: an employment practice liability policy provides coverage for accusations of discrimination, sexual harassment, wrongful termination, workplace bullying, retaliation, workplace safety. Here are a few issues to consider during the pandemic. Have you reduced your workforce due to the shutdowns? Is your office meeting CDC compliance and offering a safe working environment? Will your office make it mandatory for all employees to be vaccinated when coming back to work? These issues could impact your practice's employment practice liability exposure. Third-party coverage. So not only does it cover complaints filed by employees, but most policies extend to third parties. So it does cover complaints that could be filed by patients, vendors, or other people that visit into your office. So that's a good thing as well. How much coverage is enough? Well, we generally recommend considering at least $1 million in coverage. And just to let you know, we insure a practice who recently had an EPLI claim where two practice administrators left employment and they filed a claim with the practice. They claim multiple infractions, including discrimination, sexual harassment, and retaliation, among other issues. And this claim settled just recently for $1.2 million. And I'm not sure what this practice would have done if they did not have a policy in place, but at least they had that peace of mind knowing that there was coverage. Next slide. The next topic would be cyber liability insurance. So I hope at this point your practice has purchased a cyber policy. We have seen such an uptick in claims that you really need that peace of mind knowing you have the coverage. Healthcare is a top target, and we've seen that over the past 6 months. Since November 2020, we've seen a 45% spike in cyber attacks, and smaller medical practices are not immune to the cyber attacks. Some of the reasons for these increase of claims are due to just more remote logins due to more employees working from their home, more phishing schemes using Cobit financial solutions as an enticement to open an email, allowing an attack, outdated IT security, including lack of encryption, allowing for easier access for an attack. So breach costs can be devastating. We're seeing breach costs can go as high as $400 a patient record. Costs for loss of business income, lawsuits, fines, penalties, and potential ransom coverage can really drive the cost up of a cyber claim. Cyber coverage in the cloud. Remember, even if you store your records in the cloud, these records belong to the practice. So the practice is ultimately responsible for their security and are still liable in the event of a breach. So there's still need for a practice to consider purchasing a cyber policy, even if you're using the cloud for that storage. So in summary, I just want to say that by using Unity Insurance, you can rest easy and leave the worries to us knowing your practice is properly insured. On that note, I'll turn it back over to Shelly. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate it. So we are ready for another fun insurance fact. Do you know? So let's get the chat boxes open. And can you name the celebrity who insured her legs for $1 billion?
I would say Marilyn Monroe, but a billion wasn't really a big number.
Billion's a big number. Billions.
Big number now.
Do we have any ideas?
A couple of type-ins, just if you don't know, that little box at the bottom says chat. You just have to click on that. There's a little box you can type your answer.
We have a Beyonce vote.
Ah, interesting.
That one sounds good to me.
All right. Are we ready for the review?
We have we've got some good ones coming in. We have a J-Lo, but then they said, but I think it was her butt.
There you go.
Kim Kardashian, good ones.
All right. Okay.
Very agreeable.
All right, here we go. Well, the answer was Mariah Carey. And this was from a very reputable source, E-Online. But it did appear to be true. Apparently she insured her voice as well for somewhere upwards of like $70 million. So anyway, fun fact there. Okay, next I'd like to turn it over to Tracy Hamilton, and she's going to spend a couple of minutes talking with you about employee benefits.
And I do have to say we have a funny comment in the chat saying Tina Turner's legs were worth more, and I agree. I think that's right. They're good. 10 billion. Wow. That's a lot. Okay. Thank you all for guessing. And I agree with a lot of those that they all were probably worth a lot of money. Good evening to everyone. I hope you all are doing well. As we continue to move forward through the pandemic and live in unprecedented times, something we are seeing and hearing across the board is that many practice groups are struggling to attract and hire qualified employees. One of the best ways to make sure that you are able to differentiate yourself as an employer is to offer a robust benefits package. Benefits became more important to employees than ever before during the last year, as we were all impacted in some way or another during the COVID-19 pandemic. So your employees look to you as their employer to offer a sound benefits package that will protect them and their loved ones, both medically and financially. And that's where we come in as your broker. We work on your behalf to search the market and customize a comprehensive benefit package to help attract and retain high-performing employees while keeping your bottom line in mind. We can implement medical, dental, and vision plans with various levels of employer funding, but in some instances, practice groups are not able to give more than a contribution to the medical, dental, and vision, and they want to offer more products, and that's where voluntary products come into play. And if you haven't heard of those before, voluntary products are employee paid benefits, but they have the convenience of being payroll deducted. Voluntary benefits allow employees to pick and choose coverages that are important to them and their family, such as disability and life, or critical illness and cancer plans that pay money directly to the employee to help offset the financial impact a serious illness can have on them. That's providing a financial safety net for your employees. Additionally, as the employer, you will realize a tax advantage by offering the voluntary benefits. As your broker, we conduct an annual open enrollment meeting for you and provide a customized employee benefit guide. We find that by doing that, with having a strong communication and education of the employee benefits, that it increases your employee appreciation for the benefit package and also helps build loyalty to you as the employer. And lastly, as your benefits broker, we stay up to date on new legislation and keep you apprised of changes so that you can remain in compliance. For example, in the last few weeks, the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 has implemented 100% subsidy for COBRA continuation coverage premiums for former employees if one of the following criteria is met: lost coverage due to an involuntary job loss, or lost coverage due to a reduction in hours of work. That impacts so many of us. So remember, COBRA compliance is for groups that are 20 or more employees. So I wanted to make sure that everyone is aware of that, and you will be receiving notification. If you are our current client, you'll be receiving a letter from us in reference to this. We're here for all of our client practice groups. For those of you who are not our current clients, we certainly welcome the opportunity to provide you with a consultative review of your existing benefits package. And thank you for your time this evening.
Thanks, Trace. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good job. So we are going to move on, and it is time for another fun fact. Our fact or fiction. Here we go. So get out your chat boxes, open them up, and we'd like to know what you think. Do you think you can buy alien abduction insurance? Is this a fact or fiction?
I think it's sponsored by the National Enquirer, no?
Or maybe E-Online. I don't know.
The reinsurers. You can't buy it in Florida because it happens too often.
Ah. All right. I see some responses coming through.
Seems like everybody's saying yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, yes, indeed. It is a fact. And it's funny, John, that you mentioned Florida, because that's actually where it came from.
Well, there you go.
There is an insurance company, UFO Abduction Insurance Company. They've actually sold more than 100,000 policies. So there's a group of people out there that actually think aliens exist and take us away.
And why are the aliens picking people from Florida? That's my question. Let's not go there.
All right. With that, John, I'm actually going to turn it over to you and let you wrap up our speakers and take it away.
Thank you. So you just got to hear from Ron. Kendall is an expert in business insurance, malpractice, employee practice liability, cyber liability, And you got to hear from Tracy, who's an expert in benefits. So things to protect your business and things to protect your employees. What I deal with are individual plans specifically to protect you. They're broken down into about 5 categories: life insurance, disability, long-term care, health, and income planning. And I'm just going to take about 5 minutes to talk about one thing you can relax about, which is the certainty of death and taxes. I have not figured out yet how to beat death. Comes for everyone. Jim Morrison said, no one here gets out alive. But taxes, I think we have some answers for you. So here's a question for you. You can go in the chat room. Who said there's nothing certain in life but death and taxes? I'll just take a minute because I know you guys are being patient with us. Get any response on that? I'll save you some time. It was
Alexander Hamilton.
Well, you're very
Susan
close.
said her mom.
Very close. Benjamin Franklin in 1789 said, the new Constitution is now established and has an appearance that promises permanency. But in this world, nothing can said to be certain except death and taxes. Ben Franklin, one of my favorite people, working on a screenplay that says he was an alien. But speaking of alien abduction, but I did want to talk to you about death and taxes. First, I want to talk to you for a minute about the first bullet point there about long-term care and Medicare. Medicare, I've been working with clients in Maryland, DC, and Virginia for almost 25 years. Can help our clients get enrolled in Medicare, Parts A and Part B, walk them through it. Can also get them rates for Medicare plans in Maryland, DC, and Virginia. And as brokers, we work with probably 100 different companies between the 3 of us. So we make sure we're the most competitive, but also that you're working with a strong A-rated company. Long-term care, a lot of people are scared of talking about that, but things have changed. Used to be, if you have friends who bought policies already, they're scared or terrified about rate increases. New plans that have come out from insurers, and these are A-rated, A-plus rated, 100-year-old companies, guarantee locked-in premiums. You can have 2 people on one policy out of husband and wife, and they can also be tailored so that if something happens to you and you never need it, that all that money goes tax-free to someone that you love. But I want to talk to you about the death and taxes part, and that's that second bullet. There's a survey taken with over 100 doctors last year, and this was run by Mass Mutual, and they were asking high net worth business owners about what's a perfect retirement plan for you. And I'll just give you the top 5 bullet points from these physicians. One is that it should be efficient. In other words, easy to run. Second, that it should have low cost fees so that they're not having fees eat up their retirement. 3 is that it's easy to administer and understand. 4, that's a wish list, all of these are, is that you have either tax-free or reduced tax income coming out of that. And 5, again, a wish list, not really exposed to market downturns. So none of these things we saw in 87, 2001, and 2009, where the markets just are on a roller coaster. Now, when they let them go a little further on the wish list, they said they wanted guaranteed growth. And then in the event of death, that it goes directly to family, spouses, charities, someone who they love, who will be able to enjoy that, not have to go through hoops. And then another wish list that it would cover them in the event of illness as well. So basically long-term care or disability. There are actually plans like this. The great value to you is they are 100% deductible off of your practice. But even better than that is, these are some of the few plans available that will not only allow you to beat Uncle Sam when you start the plan, but beat him on the way out too, by taking that income tax-free. Again, these are by the top companies in the United States, AA plus rated. Most of them over 100 years old. Always glad to talk to you about this. Again, a reminder, we are a brokerage, so we are looking for the best company, and we're not married to one or two companies. So you have a chance to see competitive looks at what we want to accomplish.
Hey, John, I am so sorry, but we are
We're out of time. That's good. I'm done.
So I know this is being recorded and presentations are going to be shared with everyone, but I'm going to have to skip your last bullet there, and
I'm
I'm
done.
sorry. I wanted to adhere to the time limit. So I just want to share with everyone and say, thank you for your time today. We are here to help, and we would love an opportunity to speak more with you offline. And we just want to wish you a great meeting tonight. And thanks again for spending the half an hour with us. So Marissa, I will turn it back over to you.
Of course. Thank you so much to all of our friends at Unity for all your support for MCMS. Thank you to everyone for participating. We welcome your feedback and look forward to seeing you again at another session. And thank you for a really fun time with some great trivia.
Thank you.
Thank you.